Don't keep dangerous secrets, please. There is no need for it, because number one, there is nothing you have done or will do that has never happened on earth. You heard me. You heard me. There is nothing you have done or will do that nobody else have done, no matter how bad it is. Maybe you have not thought about it. Secondly, how do you want to carry something to the grave that will impact on another person's life? Isn't that wickedness? When it comes to relationships, whether it is between family members, lovers, corporate, colleagues, or what, it is such a big deal when there is no trust. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through what to do to build trust in your relationship. Now, the relationship we're talking about is going to be between people who have intimate chemistry, like lovers, people in relationships to get married, or people who are already married, right? So that we can have it in context. All right, so that is something that is very key, because a lot of people always ask this question, either because they've had issues where their partners do not, vibe with them anymore, either because their relationships have, suffered some sort of setback, their partners do not vibe with them a lot, like, maybe in the beginning, and they are really like,
can I build this thing back?
So that's what we're talking about today. All right, so welcome back to the channel. If today is your first time seeing this face, welcome. My name is Chisom Motibeaka. I'm a mom of 4, a wife, and somebody who is so passionate about seeing men lead when it comes to the marriage institution and helping to build happier homes, right? So if you're here for this gist and you think it's something you want to know, then keep watching. Okay, so whether you're a man or a woman, have you ever been in a relationship before? That's the type that is between a man and a woman. If yes, then this is something that you can relate with, right? When it comes to relationships in general, like all kinds of relationships, the one between a man and a woman is always like the biggest vibe. Like it has the highest form of bonding. Yes, I know people say, or rather we believe generally that blood is thicker than water. But when it's between a woman and a man, that thing that can make a man leave his home, like to create his own family, when he finds somebody who was ex-while a stranger, to get married to, and a woman vice versa. Sometimes women think they even give up so much more. So when it comes to relationship between a man and a woman, it's like the life wire of humanity, because also those relationships are from where children are birthed and generations keep kind of renew each other. But that's the plan for humanity. So being able to find the woman to bond with, to click with, to do the rest of your life with is such a phenomenon, if you ask me. And when it comes to relationships like that, it has to be intimate, it's usually sexual, and most times you need to be vulnerable for it to work. Now, trust is like the glue that keeps that kind of relationship together. And what is trust? The belief in the fact that you are true, as the belief in the fact that something or someone is true. Do you understand? So it is something that when it gets affected in any way, it becomes very hard to rebuild it. But we are going to be discussing exactly, like I promised in the beginning,
how can you build trust?
And if maybe trust has been lost or broken, then how can you rebuild it? Let's go. Trust is the reason why relationships, and not just trust, not top level trust or shallow trust. It has to be implicit in the one that the partner can close his eyes or close her eyes and trust that I know exactly what my partner is up to, because we have already had this conversation or this bonding or this covenant that we're going to be together. And when such trust that is implicit gets broken, it is almost impossible to rebuild it. Almost impossible. So that means there's still something you can do. Now, for you to be able to even enjoy trust, for you to be able to get it and earn it in your relationship, you first of all have to understand and acknowledge that trust is earned. Do you understand? You can't tell somebody, trust me. You can't tell your babe, trust me, trust me. You can say it, but if you don't work towards being trusted, it's not going to happen, right? So you can't force it. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't force the girl or the lady or the wife, or in this case, if you're a woman watching, hi, by the way, you can't force the man to trust you. You can only earn it. That's what I'm trying to say. So the first thing to do with trying to build trust is to know that trust can only be earned. It cannot be forced. Yeah, so that's where to start from. Because you know why this is important. There's a lot of people that just feel, I married her, or I've told her to be my girl, so she's supposed to understand that they almost behave like whatever I do, you should just pretend that you don't know, even when it's hurting you, because in their head you are supposed to trust me. You know what I mean? No, it doesn't work like that. It has to be earned. And you can't force it. You can't say you have to trust me. That means you don't trust me. Oh, why are you snooping? You hear people saying things like, oh, why are you always doing this? Or why are you looking at my phone? That means you don't trust me. That's hilarious, because how do you want to someone to trust you when you are not behaving in a manner that can make the person trust you? So number one thing is that acknowledge that trust is earned. You can't force it. It's not by open eye. It's not by bragado. It doesn't work like that. Number two thing to do to build trust is to understand the unwritten rules of trust, and that comes from expectations. Now, that lady that you are saying, be my girl, let's be exclusive, there are certain things that she expects from you, right? To be in this monogamous or exclusive or whatever kind of relationship you are in, there are certain expectations she has of you, the same way you have certain expectations of her. And many times when you don't understand these expectations, you cannot act accordingly. And that's not because you're going to act in the sense of acting per se, but you're not going to be able to understand how to make her trust you. So understand that certain things are expected from you because you have said,
come into my life, do life with me, or be exclusive, be my girl, leave every other man and focus on me.
There are certain things that are generally expected of you, and other things that she specifically, because of her personality, belief system, value system, also expects from you, in addition to the general rules. So that is so key. If you don't know what she's expecting, or you don't care about what she expects from you, then you're not ready to be trusted. You get what I mean? You can't expect her to be a certain way, do certain things, stand for you, support you, when you are not reciprocating. So expectations are like the nucleus, are like touch points that helps your partner to always validate that this person I trust, I can continue to trust him, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So number one, acknowledge that it is earned and not forced. Secondly, understand that certain expectations are rife as long as you are in a relationship with your girl. Number three thing to do if you want to build trust is that you have to communicate your assurance to this girl, to this lady, to this woman. You have to always tell her that I'm always with you. See, no matter what's happening, I'm not going to act untoward. I'm not going to do things that you are not expecting me to do. It has to be said. It's not like, oh,
she's supposed to know. I married her now. She's supposed to know that she's the one. All these other girls are not important.
It's not like that, oh. It's not like that. You have to communicate the assurance. It's not just trust me and you're acting to be trusted. You have to communicate it that, see, you know that we're in this together, right? We're in this that forever. There's no this and that. I'm not going to intentionally do anything to hurt this relationship. You have to say it. You have to, tell her how much you love her, how much committed you are to what you're building with her. Communication, and every time I say in this channel, people say you're always saying communication. See, there's nothing without communication. Nothing. So there's no factor of she knows I love her, she knows I can do anything for her. It's not true. She wants to hear it, and it's not just because of her anyway. She also needs to communicate to you that you're my guy. I can't do anything to hurt you. I can't do anything. I can't bring a third person into this relationship we are building. So communicating your assurance is so key. And as often as she hears it, it validates your actions, and it gives her the will to keep knowing that relax and keep building and supporting and going and taking bullets for you, in that sense. Right? So communicate your assurance. Yeah, right? So number 4, if you want to build trust, what next to do is don't keep dangerous secrets. This one is very hard for some people, and sometimes I laugh. Like, some people have made themselves keeping it to the grave associates. Like, they are the CEOs of secrets to the grave enterprises. Who are you helping? Who has this your secret helped? And who deceived you? Under this sun, you think that something can be hidden for how long do you intend to hide it? Tell me now. For how long? This just reminded me of a banter I had with somebody on Instagram some days ago. A friend of mine, Lara Kuda, she's also here on YouTube. You should follow her actually. Lara, Dear Coach Lara is the name of her channel. She always tells her story about how she went through 15 abortions, 14 heartbreaks, went through divorce, and today she's remarried and happy, right? So she always tells her story boldly. She doesn't shy away from me. She's not In fact, she has been using it to even help people to heal. She has gone through a lot and healed from it. And then somebody came to her post and said, okay, somebody came to say, oh, you have helped me so much with the way you share your story and you share how we can also escape what you've been through. And another person replied to the person and said, what is heroic about her sharing her story? How can somebody have 15 abortions for God's sake and you're here hailing her? I couldn't hold myself. I had to ask the person, wait, she shouldn't have shared the story. Has it not happened? It has happened. Who she was when the issue happened is not who she is today. So if she's able to share it, I mean, she's better off than many people who are going to the grave with so-called secrets that are damaging people who are going to be alive even after they are gone. Don't keep dangerous secrets, please. There is no need for it because number one, there is nothing you have done or will do that has never happened on earth. You heard me. You heard me. There is nothing you have done or will do that nobody else have done, no matter how bad it is. Maybe you have not thought about it. Secondly, how do you want to carry something to the grave that will impact on another person's life? Isn't that wickedness? Like the things I hear about people. Okay, look at the Kirk Franklin story that I shared the other day. How can a boy grow up not knowing his parents? Now, he finally knew his mom, but never lived with her. And never even lived with any family member. Didn't know anybody from both his mom and his father's side. And was just adopted by an old woman and raised by the old woman. How do you want... Wait, do you understand the trauma? Right? And then in his adult age, he's introduced to one man as his father. And while he was trying to have closure with that after the man passed, another person had just been introduced to him in 2022, or rather 2023, to be his father. And this one is like very real. And his mom, who is still alive, is denying the DNA test. No, how do people do these kind of things? How do people keep those kind of secrets? And these things are so rampant. You see a lot of people with damaged esteem, with traumas, because of somebody trying to keep a secret to the grave. Who is it benefiting? Why do you want to be a wicked ancestor? I'm not even going to overflog this. Like I can do a whole video just on this topic. But see, if you need to be trusted, don't keep dangerous secrets. Relationships with a man and a woman is a place to be vulnerable. I mentioned it when I was talking about the dynamics of this thing. Vulnerable means you say it as it is. You open up. There should be just that one person you can open up in the world. That's why you get into relationships and marriages. Right? So that you can fight and you win battles together. If you are married to somebody and you're keeping secret, you're still single. You're only just deceiving somebody else. You're single and suffering. I must add that. So don't keep dangerous secret if you want to be trusted. The next thing to do is don't act. Be yourself at all times in your relationship. Some people will just start, oh, okay, maybe my gender does this more. No, but I don't think so. You know, because you want to meet him, you want him to choose you, you want his family to accept you, then you act in certain ways, wear outfits that you normally want to wear, start doing certain things that you normally don't do in your normal life, so that they can accept you. Then when they have accepted you and you get married, you now show your true self. Guys, why do you guys do it? And why do women also do it? I mean, it's unnecessary. Somebody who loves you for you will love you, wax and all. You don't need makeup on top of your flaws for the person to say, that's who you are. Because the person who is loving you is also flawed. We all are flawed. Perfection is boring when it comes to humanity. Yes, you heard it here. Perfection is boring. I had a story some years ago that was really hilarious. A woman got married, was in a relationship with a man for about almost 10 years. They finally got married for a few years before they divorced anyway. But I heard that throughout the relationship and marriage, the man never saw her real hair. Like she used to wear wigs and makeup. Can you believe that? She used to wear wig because she can't imagine sleeping and her wig goes off. She only wants to look fresh and on, and I'm like, what a deception. For me, that's classic low self-esteem. How do you want to not be yourself? For how long do you want to act this thing? There will never be okay, camera, action, stop. You just keep acting. How? How? Some people don't disclose their finances. Some people don't disclose where they are from. Some people even take people they want to get married to, fake family members to marry. Like, all kinds of things. Like, wake up now. What is it? Love is not that hard. You're the one making it very hard, right? So be yourself if you want to be trusted. Play your card as it is. Say it as it is. Be happy in your humanity. And the person who loves you will love you anyway. That's fraud, yeah. That's being fraudulent. Nothing comes out from fraud, trust me. No matter how much people who do fraud, think they enjoy, it always has an endpoint, and it's always very fast. It doesn't last. So please don't be that person. Don't be that man, right? Don't act. You don't need to impress the girl. For what? Be yourself. Love her, and whatever your heart yearns for, because who you love, you give to, right? But make sure that you're not doing it because of certain things. The one that is really nice, guys, wanting to get into the good books of certain ladies because they are from well-to-do families, or the girls themselves are earning so high. Excuse me, be original. Be original, be yourself. That's who she is falling in love with, not the mask. I lived in a big city where so many guys, we used to hear stories of guys who just borrow cars, borrow outfits, borrow everything. They don't have homes. They sleep in parks and garages of hotels, but they wake up every day looking bam, talking to girls in, fake accents. Wait. Where is all that? It never ends well. Some people even deceive the girls into marriage. At the end of the day, the marriages will break up, and then maybe a child or two is already involved. Why? Why are you causing catastrophe? It's not. See, my people used to say, no, do you understand? There's no meat in the head of fish. So you're original already. Be yourself. She will love you just the way you are. Am I saying don't make any effort to make her happy and all that? No way. As you're making her happy, you should make yourself happy. Making her happy should make you happy. So both of you are supposed to enjoy this relationship, not you slaving for her or trying to mask to get her approval. Nobody rich. Nobody's God. Okay? Nobody rich. Right? You don't need to fake anything. The next way to get trusted is by saying the truth at all times. At all times. See, even when it's difficult, say the truth. When I'm talking, so some people think it's just one of those things, or they read from books. I hear some people tell some men, YouTubers, that all these things are from books, and I laugh. This is my reality. I mean, I'm one of those people that couldn't have married itself. I would not have anything to do with a man who don't have these qualities. And in as much as I was praying it, desiring it, for the kind of man I wanted, when I finally found my husband, he surpassed them. So I'm trying to say that it's not just you I'm telling. There are already men in your corner or around you or somewhere in the world who are exactly this way and enjoying life. Don't think everybody is suffering. Not everybody is suffering with their relationships, having all those bad moves. It's not important. It's not, there's no gain. Say the truth at all times. Truth never changes. 10 years, bring up the matter, it's the same thing. Why will you be working hard to cover up a lie with another lie, and then save the energy now. Save the energy and use it to make money. Make more money instead. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. And again, I think this comes from fear. What are you afraid of? You're afraid of your fellow human being that you could be talking with now, and the next minute you hear that they've dropped and died. What are you afraid of? You don't have to be afraid. Stop this habit of fear. Anytime fear pushes you to do something, you will always regret it. Have you realized? Anything you fearfully do, you fearfully cover up, you fearfully tell a lie, you start regretting it later. And it brings down your self-esteem and self-confidence. So quit fear so that you can allow you to say the truth at all times. The next way to gain trust is let your words match your action. You don't say something that some people, they are God-fearing on paper and in their mouth, but you find the chips are down now. You will do the bribe, you will do the transfer, you follow them and do. So, it doesn't, these things make your woman will start losing. It's like bandwidth. It will just start dropping, the trust will start dropping. It will get to a point where somebody can cook up a story about you and tell your woman, and she won't doubt it, So she'll be like, well, I will see what I will do. She already has bought it. Because somehow your trust quotients have been dropping gradually. Because your actions, you say one thing, it doesn't add up to what you do. You say one, you're full of talk and no action, no matching action. Trust is something that is sacred. You have to keep it. You have to earn it. You have to make sure that it's always there. Another way to make sure that you can be trusted is ensure to apologize when you do wrong. And then don't go back. Don't do all this, I'm sorry. The next minute, the next day, you're doing the same thing back. Whenever you say I'm sorry, to no longer hold water. Just say that's what he's doing. He's just weak. He's weak like that. Don't let I'm sorry. Don't be the I'm sorry guy or I'm sorry girl, because you keep going back to your vomit. If something is wrong, it hurts your partner, and you guys know it's not going to help your relationship, quit it already. If it's hard, Ask for accountability as you're apologizing and say, okay, hold me accountable. Help me to do this so that I won't be able to do that. So that your partner can see that you're making progress, that you're making efforts to make sure that doesn't happen again. But don't go back to it and come back and give another I'm sorry, it won't happen again. See, immediately it has happened once, your trust quotient has already dropped. So you are going to work 10 times harder by not going back to even see whether you can get it back to 80. I'm not saying you can get back to how it was before. This thing called trust. Yay! Now, let's even look at the fact that maybe you have, done something wrong before, trust has already dropped, and you're thinking of how do I rebuild it? What do you do to rebuild trust where it has been lost? First, repent from all the actions that made you lose the trust, right? And make sure you turn around completely and do things differently. Now, this thing is easier said than done, right? So it's like the last point, but by this, it means make sure your lifestyle totally change. Now, when they say repent, even in Christian, many people may think it's just say, oh, I'm sorry, or God, forgive me. No, repent means a total change of direction. Change of direction. So you used to do this and it is wrong. You totally turn away from doing that completely. There's nothing like, oh, I'm not doing it 10%. Remember, no. You have to do things differently. So whether it is the case of mishandling finance, cheating with the opposite sex, whatever it is, yeah, you have to do things differently if you want to review. And that is going to take a long process, because it's not going to be one good action and the trust returns. It has to be continuous good actions until it becomes a lifestyle of total change. You when you lost the trust, and you when you're trying to rebuild the trust must be two different people when they meet. Yeah. Yes. Now, the other thing that you can do when trust has been broken is to be consistent with this change that you seek. I wrote a book in 2018 called The Men Code Movement, 12 Empowering Affirmations to Living Without Regret. I think it's in the description. You can also download your copy. It said a few things about this, and of course I have other materials you can download. Just click the links below and download and read. Guys, one reason why you need trust is that you need people in your corner. You need people that when you're in your low, they can stand for you and say, I know him, I know what he can do, and they can go all out to help you. When you are succeeding, you are sure that your inner purpose is secure. Nobody can do life alone. So having trust will help your relationship last longer and become more enjoyable. See, we are not getting out of life alive, so why make it hell in the short time that we are here? There's no need. So building trust is something that I think is very key, and I hope to see you on the other side of things. Whether you have broken trust or you're about to build trust, you're entering a new relationship. Yes. So whether you're building trust or trying to rebuild trust, it will help you. And if you try to start that behavior and have that mindset now in your relationship, it will help you in business. Do you know that some of the biggest organizations and enterprises and what they call them, like enterprises really, sometimes the people they need to work for them is not just about the qualification that they're looking for. They're looking for people who are trustworthy. Trust is also a leadership capital that you can use to succeed in other aspects of your life, in business, in other places. So don't get it twisted. I'm always here to bring you hot principles as it drops, as I'm scheduling it, because being all that you are created to be is the reason this channel exists, especially as a man and of course a woman as well. Thank you for listening so far. In the comment section, drop trust if you watch to this point. So tell me what you think about this video in general, and I'll be looking out for it right away. And remember that trust is serious business. Yeah? Alright, see you next time. Bye.